everyone. Welcome to the Dog Mom Knits podcast. Sorry, I don't know even what I'm doing right now. Welcome to the Dog Mom Knits podcast, episode 23. Finley is playing the in and out game. That's what you just heard, were the bells on the door. My name is Amanda, and you can find me on Instagram as Dog Mom Knits, on Ravelry as Dog Mom Knits 08. And we do have an email address for this podcast, and that is dogmomknits@gmail.com. This is a yarning podcast where I talk about how yarn is interweaving into my life. I am coming to you from coastal Virginia, where I live with my husband, Sean, our dogs, Finley and Copper, and our exchange student, Daria. Every shop that I talk about, all the ways to get in contact with me, all the ways to see my projects will be linked in the down bar below. But if you have any questions, or if I don't include something down there, because my week is actually going to be fairly busy, it's entirely possible I'm going to forget something, please just send me an email. I want to say a huge thank you to all returning viewers. Thank you for coming back and joining me on this episode, and a huge welcome to any new viewers. I hope you like what you see. Maybe like and subscribe if you do. So I am looking down at my notes because I am tired today. Today is Sunday, April 23rd. My husband just helped me out. April 23rd. It's the afternoon, but it doesn't feel like the afternoon. It feels like it's first thing in the morning. My brain is dead. I don't really know why. It's not like we've done anything, but feels like I'm thinking through mud, as my father would say. So let's start with what I'm wearing. I am wearing a shirt that is from my Spreadshirt shop, which again will be linked down below. It says Dog Mom Life, and then it has the paw print, the coffee cup, and the knitting needles, and the ball of yarn. And I do have the same that says Dog Mom Life with these two same icons. And then this one is a ball of yarn and a crochet hook. And then I did just add last week, I believe it was, 2 more, like design options to the Spreadshirt shop that I'm so excited about. Oh, and it's in the mailbox. Maybe I'll go grab it and, like pause this later and go run out and get it and show it to you guys. But it says, I'll put pictures up here of what the 2 new designs are, one for knitting and one for crocheting. And I just think they are super, super cute. And I'm really excited to have my new shirts. So that's what I'm wearing. Let's get started with Dog Mom Knits news. So 3 weeks ago, I posted episode 22 of the podcast. Thank you so much for everybody who tuned in. There were a lot more viewers for that one than there typically are, which I am very, very grateful for. Thank you all for your comments. I do like and respond to each one, and they mean so very much to me. I am technically podcasting a week late, and that is because I will be out of town next week with a school trip that I help to chaperone that I'll talk about more in life news. And I didn't really have much progress to show because things have just been so busy. So I just figured I'd wait an extra week, and then I'll be able to podcast when I get back. And hopefully have some things to show you guys, because that would be lovely. That's really it. That's all that's going on here in Dog Mom Knits world. So we'll move into my only one finished object. So I found Garlene, who is the kitchen sink shop on Instagram, and signed up for her newsletter so that I could participate in the Year of Dishcloths that she is hosting this year. She's hosted it before, but this is my first year participating. And this year it's all about, like, her designs for these dishcloths all revolve around or are inspired by desserts. And so for April. Hello. What on earth? I'm just trying to power through the fact that my brain is like dead. It's not really working. I'm sorry, you guys. I do have water and cherry Coke to drink. Not mixed together. I have 2 different cups in the hopes that the caffeine will help as I go through this podcast today. Take 2 for finished objects. I am participating in the Kitchen Sink Shop knit along for her year in dishcloths. This year is themed on desserts, and April's was the mini eggs dishcloth, and it was super cute. I picked a Knit Picks dishy that I had. I forget what this one's called. I'll put it up on the screen if I can find it. But it's just such a fun lace pattern. It knit up super quick. I knit it in one day. I cast it on last Sunday and finished it last Sunday. I'm just really, really, really loving knitting these dishcloths. I love that by the end of the year, I'm going to have 12 of them. And my plan is that I'm going to give 3 to my mom, 4 to my mom, 4 to my sister, and 4 to my husband, because they all ask me for these dishcloths all the time. And I am more than happy to oblige. I love how this variegated looked with this pattern. I just think it's so pretty. And then this is the back. Still just as pretty. Feels really scrubby. I love Knit Picks dishy. I did knit these on a US 4. She calls for US 3 in the pattern. These are all free patterns as well. You can sign up for her newsletter to get them at the beginning of the month. And then at the end of the month, she posts them to Ravelry. Again, they are free. And follow her on Instagram if you aren't already, because she's pretty amazing. Like, her designs are so beautiful. But Kitchen Sink Shop, mini eggs dishcloth. That is my one and only finished object for the last 3 weeks. I just have not been knitting. Like, the whips you're going to see are the same whips you've been seeing, which I'm really sorry for. That is not a project that's on my Make 9 boards, so I don't have any Make 9 progress to show you. I'll talk about it more when I get to whips, but I have an idea that I want to run past you guys and see what you think. I'm sorry, my hair feels like it's a little messy today. I just threw it up in a ponytail yesterday and let it air dry, and then just ran a comb through it this morning. So it doesn't, I don't know, maybe it's not that messy. Anyway, let's move on to whips. So I am only going to show my current whips. There's a pile of them sitting over here, like a crazy large pile of whips sitting over here next to me. And it is, there's a lot of them in there. So I'm only going to show my current ones. I've had next to no knitting mojo, like none. And you're going to see that when you see the fact that these whips are basically in the same place that they were in the last time I podcasted, which was 3 weeks ago. It's entirely possible that that's just because I'm so busy at school, because I am a middle school English teacher if you are new here. And I am also one of the assistant baseball coaches this season. And I'm one of the coordinators of the week-long trip that a group of our students are taking to Boston next week. So, life is busy. And I know that's part of why I get home at the end of the day and I do not have the energy, like the brain space to knit. But here's my question. What would you do? Would you just keep the same whips because they're all basically mindless and just take them out when you have the brain space for them? Or would you switch them out for other whips and see if maybe changing and trying to work on a different project would make you more excited? Because I'm trying to figure out if it's the whips that, like, if it's possible that it's the whips that I don't want to work on, or if it's the fact that I just don't have any brain space to knit that's keeping me from knitting. So is it the whips or is it the brain? Or is it both? Leave a message for me down below and let me know what you think. And whether you think that I should maybe pull some more whips out of the bin, switch them out for the ones that, and let you guys see something different. Keep powering through it and know that summer's coming and it won't be so bad. Like my brain won't be so full once summer gets here. Anyway, let me know below what you think I should do. If you have any advice for getting back your knitting mojo, because mine is gone. But again, I'll go ahead and show the 3 that have been getting the most work, which is not a lot. And then maybe in a couple weeks when I come back and talk to you guys again, I'll have something else to show you. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe one of these will actually be finished. My first active whip is in a bag from 3 by the Sea Designs. It's their Ukrainian fundraiser bag. This is a test knit that I was doing for Kimber's Cozy Creations. I did not finish the test knit, which I feel really bad about. I do not like signing up for test knits and not finishing them. But like I had to count to 10 on certain rows and I did not have the ability to count to 10. The pattern is out. It came out Saturday the 22nd. It is called the Making Waves Socks. It is really, really fun. I love this pattern. I am knitting this pair of socks for Daria, who is our exchange student. She picked out this yarn at Rhinebeck this year. It is fiber optic in the opal colorway. And I absolutely love it. It's great. I want to knit it. But again, there's moments when you have to count to 10. And I couldn't. I was seriously having to recount rows like 4 times. And it's just counting to 10. Like anyway. But this is it. I am knitting them in tandem, which I talked about before. So the second one is cast on, and I have, what's that, two repeats done of, is that right? Yeah. 2 repeats done of the pattern. Sorry, it's like all tangled. And I love it. It's beautiful. And I really want these done before she leaves in June to go back home to Macedonia. But I've got to get into a headspace where I can actually count to 10. Oh my goodness. I'm knitting those on ChowGoo's US 1.5. I cast on 56 stitches. I have knit socks for Daria before, and they are a little big when I cast on 64 stitches, which is what I usually do for everybody else in my world. And I knew that this pattern was going to have some texture to it. And so I thought, let's try 56 stitches for her. Like I said, the pattern came out April 22nd, this past Saturday. It is a beautiful pattern. I highly encourage that you check it out. Give Kimber a follow on Instagram if you haven't already, and check out that pattern. It is really, it's a fun knit if you know how to count to 10, which apparently I do not, or can't do successfully. My next whip that's getting some work right now is in a bag from Bags by Awesome Granny. I love this bag. I got it for Christmas from my mom. You guys have seen this bag before because I'm just knitting on the same things over and over again. This is a little notions pouch that came with it. I have my tape measure in here because I'm trying to figure out, because I'm getting close to where you split for sleeves. This, I'm knitting the, I don't know if I said this, I'm knitting the Weekender by Andrea Mowry. And it's a bottom up sweater. So I'm getting closer and closer, not that close, but closer and closer to where I'm going to split for the sleeves. Okay, so here's what I have so far. I'm using Knit Picks Brava in the Lady Slippers colorway. And you essentially, and it's obviously a paid for pattern, so I'm not going to give too much away, but you essentially knit it inside out. So I'll turn it right side out for you. This is how it will be worn. And I'm loving it. It's just miles and miles of stockinette in the round, which is great, but I find it a little boring, so I have a hard time wanting to pick it up. Over spring break, I was using this as my podcast knitting. So as I put a podcast on to watch it, I would take this sweater out, but I haven't really had time to watch podcasts. So because I haven't been getting home from school until 6 or 7 usually. And that's just there's not a lot of time left in the end of the day to do anything. It's like I come home, I make dinner, hang out with Daria and Sean for a little bit, and then I go to bed. This is the tag for the yarn, Brava worsted weight. And again, the color is Lady Slipper. So, yeah. In spring break, this got a lot of work, and I'm wondering if I need to just kind of put this one aside and say, okay, I'm not going to work on it again until summer. And it's going to be my podcast knitting during the summer. I mean, even if I work on it now, I mean, I'm not going to finish it, even if I work on it a lot, because there's a lot of work left to do. But it's a worsted weight sweater. I'm not going to wear it anytime soon. So maybe this one needs to go so that I can pull out a different whip, and maybe that will give me some motivation by switching out my whips. Just something I'm thinking about. My last current whip is one that you have seen quite a bit of. I did the vlog of me opening the 3 Tulips Yarn Co. February Advent. I did 2 vlog episodes. And I have started the project. This is a bag from 3 by the Sea Designs. And I am using, like I said, it's the February Advent from 3 Tulips Yarn Co. It was such a beautiful Advent, and I am loving this project. But again, it is just miles of stockinette in the round. So this was day 1, day 2, and day 3. The next color is a solid red. So she did speckle, solid, speckle, solid, and it circles back on itself. So the last solid is so this is a purple and pink, pink, pink and red, red, and then it keeps going. And so the solid purple was the last color. And so it kind of circles back. And I thought, well, that just has to be a wallow cowl. And I found, and I talked about this last time, and it is linked on my project page on Ravelry, but I found a provisional cast on that cast onto a cord instead of waste yarn. Game changer. Because I did not enjoy knitting off of or unpicking that provisional at all. I am going to have too much yarn, so it's 14 20-gram minis. So I decided that for each of the solids, I'm going to wind off 5 grams. So this is 5 grams of the pink that I've pulled off. And I have them in a bag from Tammy's Homesteading Crafts. She sent me this after she saw how much I loved the 3 Tulips Yarn Co. Advent. And I just love it. It's a little Notions bag, but I'm using it right now for... They're going to have the 7 solid color minis. And I'm going to knit a pair of Scrappy Stripy socks, which is a pattern kind of tutorial idea from the Crazy Sock Lady. And I have yarn left over. Is it here? Oh yeah, it's like sitting right here. This is leftover from my Zebra Yarns Advent socks that I knit for Daria at the beginning of the year. If I have a picture of them, I'll put it up there for you. But this is just kind of like a funfetti sock with all of those different speckles. And I thought that would be really cool to do scrappy stripy socks. I have a ton of this. I don't know how much, but I didn't use very much of it. And it was a 50-gram ball. So I'm going to pair 5 grams of each of the 7 colors with this and make a pair of scrappy stripy socks for myself sometime down the future. Maybe that'll be, I'm kind of hoping that I can get to a place where this will be done. And then this can be like one of my summer sock camp socks. Because I really do love working on this. I just, like, so I don't know that I feel like I'm going to put this one away. I think maybe I should put this, the Weekender, away. And by away, I mean down, like switch it out for something else that is in my whips pile. Because I have a lot of whips. Maybe I should put both of them away. Hold on. I'm going to go back to I have 3 Make 9 boards this year. One of them is entirely whips. So I'm going to look at that real quick and see what I've got. Well, I know I'm going into the end of the school year, and I know that I need mindless knitting for that. So I think what I might do is go ahead and put this back into like hibernation and maybe just leave out this one and then finish. Obviously, I need to finish Daria socks. Those are a big deal. Yeah. And then I have my Musselboro hat that is like my out and about knitting, and I'm about to be out and about a lot. I don't know. Give me some advice in the comments, please. Please give me advice. Please, friends. Help me, because I am not sure what to do. Not sure how to handle getting my Mojo back. Usually I just like ride it out and I'm like, okay, I haven't knit for 3 weeks. It isn't a big deal. But for some reason, it's bothering me that I'm not knitting. Like it bothers me that I get to, like I go to bed at the end of the day and I'm like, I didn't knit today. Like I wish I had knit today. But I just don't have the brain space to do it. So yeah. Let me know in the comments if you have any advice for me, if there's anything that you can suggest, because I would appreciate it. Let's move on to acquisitions. I only have one acquisition and I'm actually super, super excited about it. It is from Tia's Terrific Threads. Excuse me. She dyes self-striping yarn. And she is on Etsy. Her tag says, or her card says, small things made with great love. And Tia is just so positive and so fun to follow on Instagram. And if you do not follow her on Instagram, please go give her a follow. I will have her linked down below, but she is just super sweet and super kind. She had been posting that there was going to be an update it's either earlier in April or at the end of March. It was whatever day that we were going to be in DC. And the update was going to go live at 11 o'clock. And we happened to be in the American History Museum. And at 11:30, I went, oh, right, I need to go buy yarn. And there was one specific colorway that I really, really wanted. And by the time I went to look for it at 11:30, it was sold out. And so I sent her a message and I was like, oh my gosh, congratulations. Because I know some people get upset, like they get frustrated when yarn dyers sell out of colors. she's a one-woman show. Like, if she sells out of a color, like, that just means that she's doing something right, you know? Like, that's how I see it. And so I sent her a message and I was like, congratulations. That's so exciting. You know, like a bunch of applause emojis. And she said, thank you so much. And I was like, if you ever bring that colorway back, let me know. I won't be late next time. And she said that and then she messaged me a little bit later and she said, I got a couple messages from some other people. So I put up a pre-order. I don't know when it's going to get to you, but there is a pre-order. And I hopped right on that as soon as I saw the message. And the yarn came this past week. So it still wasn't even like that long of a pre-order. The colorway is called Coffee Break. It is a 75-25. It's on her simple sock base, 463 yards to 100 grams, and it looks like this. So it's a couple different browns, and then you have the green for Starbucks and the orange for Dunkin'. The orange and kind of like pinky purple for Dunkin'. I will drink anybody's coffee. Let's just be clear about that. I love coffee. I'll drink whoever wants to make me coffee. I will drink it. But here lately, I have been much more of a Dunkin' girl. Frozen coffee with French vanilla is my go-to at Dunkin'. If I go to Starbucks, I am a skinny vanilla latte with an extra shot. But when she posted this and she was showing kind of like a picture of the one that she was knitting, I was like, this is so fun, so perfect for me. So, and I love that her yarn comes in a ball. So cute. I just think that's so fun. So I have this in a bag from Mountain State Stitches with my Crazy Sock Lady pin and my Team Cuff Down pin. This is going to get cast on really, really soon. Partially because I'm super excited about it, and partially because of the first thing that I'm going to talk about in life stuff. So let's go ahead and go to life stuff. So I've mentioned it before on this podcast, on previous podcasts. I am chaperoning a trip to Boston with a group of students that I teach. I am so excited. It's a 6-day trip. We leave on Sunday and get back on Friday. And Boston is the home of Dunkin' Donuts. If you like, there's literally a Dunkin' Donuts on every corner. And that is like, if you haven't been to Boston, you think, oh, she's exaggerating. I'm really not. There's a Dunkin' Donuts on every corner, and I will not be able to visit all of them because I can't just like walk away from my students and buy coffee, which is disappointing. But when I got this yarn this week and it was, you know, coffee themed and partially Dunkin' Donuts themed, I was like, oh, that's perfect to take to Boston. So I'm definitely taking that. I'm going to get those cast on, get them past the cuff of the first sock, and get those ready so that I can take that to Boston. I'm also still working on my Musselburgh hat using the We Share Needles yarn from Kimber's Cozy Creations. That is going. And then I also have, I don't think I'm going to be able to get to it easily. I also have a skein of yarn that was gifted to me earlier this year that is so beautiful. And I want to knit that into a Musselburgh hat. And I also have my Love and Speckles yarn, which should be right here. Yes, my Love and Speckles yarn from Brianna of the Little Wolf Knits that is going to be a Musselburgh hat. So I think I'm going to end up taking 2 Musselburgh hats, one in progress, one that I will start and get past the decreases, and then a pair of socks. I took like 4 projects to Boston last year and knit maybe 2 rows the entire week. I don't think we're going to be as busy this week, this coming trip, because we're actually staying. Last year we stayed 4 days. It was Sunday through Wednesday. And this year we're staying 6 days, Sunday through Friday. And we're taking the train. So it's a 12-hour train ride. So I've got way more knitting time than I did last year. So 2 muscle burros and a pair of socks. Is that enough? Or should I take something else? I'm going back in my notebook. So I showed you guys my Make 9 boards. There's my whips. These are all my sock whips. So do I have something else that is like super like mindless? My Sock Week socks. They were just a plain vanilla sock, I think. What do you think? 2 muscle burros and a pair of socks, or should I do 2 muscle burros and 2 pairs of socks? Let me know in the comments below. 6-week trip. I'm chaperoning, so, you know, I've got to like watch my kiddos. But there's a 12-hour train ride on the front and back end of the trip. What are your thoughts? How much is too much? How much is too much yarn? That's kind of the big thing that's going on at school. I am assistant coaching one of the assistant coaches for the baseball team at school, the middle school baseball team. And that has been so much fun. I've never coached before, and I guess I'm more of like a team manager than I am a coach. But I don't care. I love spending time with the boys. They are so much fun to hang out with, and they just make me laugh. And having all that extra time with them has been really, really fun. So they're doing pretty good. I think they're 2 and 3 right now. Is that right? But this is their first year. It's our first year having a baseball team in quite some time. So, it's, you know, like they're still learning and learning how to play together, which is great. What else? That's pretty much it that's going on at school. Getting ready for the big Boston trip and assistant coaching baseball. I'm still reading the same book that I was last time. I just get to bed and I'm like, I don't want to read. I just want to scroll Instagram until I fall asleep. The book I'm reading, it's good. I don't, you know, the fact that I haven't finished it doesn't mean it isn't good. It just means I haven't had time to finish it. But the book is called Murder in the Mystery Suite by Ellery Adams. It's great. It's really good. I like it. I like our main character a lot. I just need to go to bed and put down my phone and pick up my book. That's it. Just commit to, and I think I said this on the last podcast too, so clearly that's not working and I need a different strategy. Daria and I have been watching lots and lots of movies. We are still watching Big Bang Theory. We're in, I think, season 4. So, I have not seen the show all the way through. I don't think I'd ever, before we started it, seen a single episode all the way through. But we just met Amy Farrah Fowler. So that's been really fun. It's been really cool watching that, like actually like watching it all the way through and then watching it with Daria. But she and I have been watching lots and lots of movies. I've been showing, like, so what we do is we alternate back and forth. Like, I pick a movie, she picks a movie, I pick a movie, she picks a movie. And we try to pick movies that the other one hasn't seen, which is much easier for her because I haven't seen most things, whereas she's seen everything. But I can't even remember everything that we watched. But yesterday she showed me Crazy Rich Asians, which I really liked. And I showed her The American President, which is from like the mid-90s. It has like Michael Douglas in it. And she said it was fun. Sorry, I'm teasing her because she's sitting right over there on the couch. Because she says that when I don't like a movie that she has shown me, I say, oh yeah, it's fine. And so now I've teased her that, like, I've been teasing her that all the movies that I show her are just fine. We took Daria to Natural Bridge the other weekend. That is such a beautiful location, and she loved it, and we loved going, and we took the dogs, and we drove along Blue Ridge Parkway for a little bit and walked. Did I talk about this on the last one? No? I didn't write it down that we did. Maybe I did. But we walked along the Appalachian Trail for just a little bit. But it was really nice to get out and go see the mountains and show Daria another part of our state. We did not go anywhere this weekend, or like on any adventures. My mom had a knee replacement surgery on Tuesday, and yesterday my dad needed to go run some errands, and mom's not ready to be left alone. So I went over and hung out with her for a little while, and then Daria and Sean and I just kind of ran and got some things that I'm going to need for Boston. And then we came back here and watched the movies. I think that's it. Life-wise. The dogs are doing good. They're both currently sleeping right now, which is interesting because we started the podcast with Finley playing the In and Out game. And now she's over there in her bed laying down, and Copper's over there on the couch laying next to Daria. I don't know if you just heard him snorting. That's what he does when he's sleeping. He snorts. We call it pigging. We call him a pig because he pigs. That's been a running joke since Misha, who was our first exchange student from 2019 to 2020.
He's also a trash panda.
Yes. And Daria has started calling Copper a trash panda because he likes to dig around in the trash can like a raccoon. And I call raccoons trash pandas. So he has several different names. But I cannot think of anything else. Let me know in a comment down below if you don't mind. How do you get your knitting mojo back? Help. I really, really, really want to knit. But when I sit down in my chair at the end of the day, I really, really, really just want to scroll Instagram. How do I fix that? And then let me know how many projects you think I should take to Boston. How many is too many? Sean said 76 projects is too many. That's probably true. I probably shouldn't take 76.
But then again, 37 might be too many. Who knows? I think I'm pretty sure 76 is.
Thank you for tuning in, friends. Usually at the end, I try to say something, kind of positive or something that I've been praying about lately. And today, I just want to, with how stressful school is right now and how busy things are for me right now, I thought maybe it would be the same for you. And so I wanted to share a Bible verse with you that has been really resonating with me right now. And it is 1 Chronicles 16:11. Seek the Lord in his strength. Seek his presence continually. I told my dad this week that I felt like I was drowning and that I never could get above water, like gets air. And then as soon as if I managed to get a gulp of air, just waves would come crashing back over me. And sometimes we have seasons in our life that are like that. And the biggest thing that I cling to and I try to cling to, and I don't do a great job of it clearly because I was talking to my dad about it this week. But what I try to do is just remember that God's focus is on my obedience. That he wants me to cling to him and not cling to my struggles and not cling to my to-do list. And if I am willing to do that, then his word promises that all things work together for his good. And in that case, that means it's for my good too, because if it's for his good, it's for my good. So if you are in a stressful time period, if you are in a busy season, know that I'm praying for you. Know that Jesus is sitting at the right hand of the Father praying for you. And I just pray that you would seek his presence and his strength always. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you after Boston. That's so crazy that it's so close. But I will see you after Boston. Happy knitting.